Hello, beautiful people. Look, I'm gonna get straight to the point today because I am super excited. I have JPMorgan Chase in the studio with me, and we're talking to the Black and brown communities about how to build wealth, okay? So we're gonna share all the essentials on how you can start building wealth right now, no matter how old you are. Stay tuned. I'm gonna be right here in the studio with the VP Community Manager of Chase Bank. See you in a second.
Real estate can be a very complicated process. Finding one, how much can you afford, financing, closing costs, mortgage, putting it on the market, considering offers, inspection, negotiations, submitting offers, schools, down payment, title insurance, home warranty, taxes, review net sheets. These are the pieces of the puzzle of home ownership. I'm the person who helps put it together and the glue that keeps it together. Give me a call.
Most multivitamins have ignored the health and nutritional differences of African Americans. What we require is a multivitamin designed to best suit our needs.
After years of treating patients and fighting health disparities, Dr. Greg Hall, physician, researcher, and educator, created a formula of multivitamins specifically designed for African American men, women, and adults over 50. Sequence Vitamins, because our needs are different. Available at sequencevitamin.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy, because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
Experience the pinnacle of performance at Big Star Cadillac, formerly Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $449 a month, or the new 2022 XT6 Luxury Collection for $549 a month, all for 39 months lease with just $1 down. At Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Big Star Cadillac, Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Smarter when you shop at Big Star. Shop BigStarCadillac.com.
I'm Jonathan Cox with the Cox Frater Law Firm. For years, we have represented people who have been hurt or injured all over the country, but Houston is home. We fight for those who have been hurt or injured, however it may happen. So if you've been injured in a car accident, big truck accident, or even while at work, call our injury hotline at 1-800-HURT-NOW or log in to BigCityAccidents.com and let us fight for you.
BigCityAccidents.com. We fight for your right to get back your life.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. So listen, you guys know that I love to have fun on this show. However, I promised you when I first started that I will always inspire. And wealth is something that we are in desperate need of in the Black community. I say all that to say that today's guest, Ms. Kimberly Evans, is the Vice President, Community Manager at Chase, and she's about to teach us all about financial literacy. Well, as much as she can. Hello, Kimberly, how are you?
I'm great, how are you?
I'm well, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay, so listen, you are a wealth of knowledge, all right? You already know that, don't you?
Yeah, you know, I try. I've spent a few decades just educating myself in the financial world, and I'd love to take this information now and give it back to the community.
Wow, a few decades.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were serious about this.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I'm actually like 150 years old, but
in real life?
Yeah, in real life, yeah.
Okay, so you guys, Chase is opening up a financial literacy center, is that correct?
Yes, yes, and you can actually call it a financial literacy center, and it's actually a branch concept that Chase Bank has recently won an award throughout the nation we are building 16 community branch banks, which is a completely new concept in banking.
Okay.
And as a part of that concept, we have taken here in Houston. Houston is one of the 16 cities that we're focused on, absolutely because of the diversity of the city. And so we have taken a branch that is on the corner of Lyons and Lockwood in 5th Ward.
Okay.
And that branch in of itself has a wonderful history. For those in Texas who are not familiar with Barbara Jordan, Barbara Jordan actually was the individual that was responsible for initially having that branch built back in the day, back when it was Texas Commerce, which was a predecessor to Chase. But we will be having a grand opening at the end of this month, a re-grand opening. The branch actually has never closed, but it has went through a complete remodel. And what's wonderful about this branch is that it will actually have an area that will have classrooms and a boardroom area whereby I can bring in members from the community, for-profit and nonprofit, and now not just banking to come in and have your transactions, you can come to the bank now to learn about credit. You can learn about access to capital. You can learn about ways that you can improve your personal financial life and the life of your business, which is a fantastic
And do you
concept.
have to be a member at Chase? You have to have an account holder?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. You can just walk in, right?
And just learn.
You do not have to do business with Chase. This is our way of saying to the community, you're welcome to come in, to learn with us, learn from us, and you don't have to do business with us. If you do, great, but that's not the whole purpose of this branch.
Okay. Kimberly, why are you so passionate about this? Because your passion, it screams, it exudes out of you, and decades of studying, that's passionate.
I'm a native Houstonian. I grew up in the Acres Home area when my parents decided to move from North Houston to Southwest Houston. You know, I lived in Southwest Houston. I went to the public schools, Welch Middle School, Westbury High School, did my undergrad at Texas Southern. But my dad was also an entrepreneur. And what really sparked my need to learn more about finances is that my dad was an entrepreneur, but he went through back in the 70s and 80s, a lot of financial things were happening. And here was a man that I looked up to and I was always so proud of. And I watched him go through these economic cycles. At the time, I didn't know that's what they were called, right? Because you're a kid yourself. But I watched my dad's business go through a number of economic cycles that as hard as he worked and as smart as he really was not prepared to get through those cycles. And after, you know, for himself, years of hard work, he actually had to give up his business because like so many businesses, black and brown businesses, he just didn't have the capital to keep it going, to go from one economic situation to the next.
Okay, so talking about capital, you ready? So what are some of the major things that you guys will be teaching the community about at this new center?
Great question. And you know, one of the things that we realized, especially last year during COVID, so many black and brown families were affected in ways that many of us had not even thought of, right? Here in Houston, we've gone through disasters. We've gone through floods during Harvey, hurricanes. But when the entire nation shut down, right? We realized that what has caught up to so many black and brown families was the lack of savings with our businesses, the lack of excess capital to get them through a hardship, right? We were always in this survival mode. And survival mode is number one, taxing, right? Just physically, mentally, spiritually taxing. And then to see so many families take a step back after they had worked decades to build up their savings, or businesses, so many black and brown businesses, actually over 400,000 closed, shuttered their doors, not to reopen.
Never to reopen.
Never to reopen. And so that sparked just more and more of our commitment, not only as a bank, but myself, you know, as just being a part of this community, of saying that, you know, we have to be able to pull together our resources within an institution like JPMorgan Chase. How can we do more? How can we help more people?
I know you're ready. So let's jump into these 4 pillars. Talk to me about those. What are those?
Well, let's just start at the top, which is the one that I think is the most important. And this is in not Chase order. This is Kimberly's order. Right? Is financial literacy, right? We can have people qualify for funding. We can get you into a house, but if you can't keep the house, what's the point, right? we can get you started with the business, but if you don't have the acumen to know how to continue in that business and scale that business, so what's the point? So the first pillar is is financial literacy.
Okay.
We want to make sure, and the word literacy makes it, feel as if people are just not learning or not learned at all. So let's just call it financial health.
Okay.
So that's the first pillar.
I like that.
We have to be able to educate people, number one, on spending, right? What you're spending, saving, how to save, and this is the big elephant in the room, credit.
Credit.
So many people have questions about credit. How do I build credit? How do I restore my credit?
Kimberly, tell people what credit actually stands for.
You know what? Credit stands for credibility.
I don't think many people know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you break it down that way, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It stands for credibility. Are you a credible person?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm sorry. I have to throw that in there.
Credit stands for credibility, right? And so as a part of that financial learning, we like to take a deep dive. And it's a part of the getting real, keeping it real with the community, right? People say, my money ain't funny, or my money is funny, and we have to get people to the point where we understand that, especially as working moms, you may be a single mom or even two households. In America today, everything is so much more expensive, right? Even post-COVID. And so we're working with individuals to help them understand that you can save, right? And it's just a matter of just understanding your spending, where your money is going. I ask folk all the time. I just had a lesson with my 18-year-old daughter who's at Prairie View now. And her first semester at school, and I'm watching girlfriend's account, and she's just spending.
And she had no idea where the money was going?
No idea where the money was going.
Probably, as a college kid.
Yeah. And so I had to have this conversation with her. And so it doesn't matter the age, right? Whether you're 12 or whether you're 92. You have to understand what you are spending your money on.
But Kimberly, back to your daughter though, I think that's a good learning lesson for all of us. Because let's be clear, even as an adult, I've had that moment where you go back and you're like, what did I do last month? And when you go back and you itemize all of those transactions and you're like, I spent $600 on eating out. Or on are you serious? So I think sometimes I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but we may need those moments to humble us and make us realize, okay, I have to control my money, or my money is going to just kind of control me and go wherever I swipe this card at.
Yeah. So, and you're absolutely true, especially in a digital world, right? Where many of us are not even looking at our accounts on a daily basis, and even looking at it, you get numb to it. But when you actually have to put it into an app, you have to itemize it yourself, like you said, physically look at it, and you can see that I spent $600 on food and $40 on gas.
Breaks your heart.
You start to prioritize your spend, right?
Yeah, we have to take a really quick break, Kimberly, but we're going to come back and we're going to talk about these 4 pillars. All right, guys. So me and Kimberly are going to be right back right after this break.
Real estate can be a very complicated process. Finding one, how much can you afford, financing, closing costs, mortgage, putting it on the market, considering offers, inspection, negotiations, submitting offers, schools, down payment, title insurance, home warranty, taxes, review net sheets. These are the pieces of the puzzle of home ownership. I'm the person who helps put it together and the glue that keeps it together. Give me a call.
Most multivitamins have ignored the health and nutritional differences of African Americans. What we require is a multivitamin designed to best suit our needs.
After years of treating patients and fighting health disparities, Dr. Greg Hall, physician, researcher, and educator, created a formula of multivitamins specifically designed for African American men, women, and adults over 50. Sequence Vitamins, because our needs are different. Available at sequencevitamin.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy, because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
Experience the pinnacle of performance at Big Star Cadillac, formerly Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $449 a month, or the new 2022 XT6 Luxury Collection for $549 a month, all for 39 months lease with just $1 down. At Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Big Star Cadillac, Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Smarter when you shop at Big Star. Shop BigStarCadillac.com.
I'm Jonathan Cox with the Cox Radio Law Firm. For years, we have represented people who have been hurt or injured all over the country, but Houston is home. We fight for those who have been hurt or injured, however it may happen. So if you've been injured in a car accident, big truck accident, or even while at work, call our injury hotline at 1-800-HURT-NOW or log in to BigCityAccidents.com and let us fight for you.
BigCityAccidents.com. We fight for your right to get back your life.
Well, welcome back, everyone. I am still here with Miss Kimberly Evans, the Vice President Community Manager at Chase Bank, and she is giving us all the tidbits on what this new center in Fifth Ward is going to be doing for the community. Okay, Kimberly, so before the break, we were talking about financial literacy, so finish that up for me.
Sure. We all know it's important, understanding where you're spending, and we're going to go right into, even more importantly, save, right? Why do we have to save? Because our second pillar is housing, mortgage.
Okay.
We also know that one of the beginnings of building wealth in this nation is home ownership.
We got to stick there for a second.
Yeah.
Talk about the numbers, because I've had a few real estate agents come on, and they talked about how our numbers, as far as in the Black community, home ownership are the same as they were, was it the 60s or 70s?
It's actually worse.
It's worse.
Yes.
Okay.
We actually have fewer Black households that own a home now than when we did back in the 60s and 70s when redlining was legal.
Wow.
When they were, when many institutions were outwardly discriminating against us, our families, our mothers and grandmothers understood the importance of owning real estate.
Why
and
do you
owning
think we
a
don't
home.
understand anymore? Because we have more money, we have more formal education.
Yep.
So what do you think that's about?
You know, a lot of it is opportunity and options.
Okay.
Now that we are educated and we do have the opportunity and options to do more with our money, whether it's travel, whether it's acquiring other things, we have that flexibility now, right? So that goes back to the financial literacy of understanding, with the responsibility of having those options, we also have to understand how to build wealth.
Gotcha.
And you don't build wealth off of buying, you know, luxury clothing.
Right.
That's your right to do what you want to do with your money, but you also have to prioritize your spend, right? And purchasing a home, or whether it's several homes that you're going to use for rental properties or investment real estate, is important. But in order to be able to do that, there is also something that's called a down payment. Right?
Yeah, okay, right.
And so you got to be able to save, because when you go to the bank, they're gonna pull your credit, right? So they're gonna look at your credit, your credibility, your opportunity to be able to repay that mortgage over 20 years, 30 years. You also have to know that you have to go in with some savings, right? And so there are programs. JPMorgan Chase has a program as well as a part of our path forward.
Okay.
We do have a home buyer program that will enable individuals to qualify for grants in certain areas. They could, especially in the Houston area, can go up to $5,000 for assistance that you can use to get yourself into a home. And so that's definitely something that we can help you with as well at our community center branch. We have mortgage specialists who, that's all they do is talk with individuals about how do you get yourself into a home.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so the third pillar, which is also highly important, is access to capital. We know that both, especially African American women, brown and Latino, Black and Latino women are starting businesses faster than any demographic in this country, right?
Yes, we are.
But we have to be able to access capital and understand where capital comes from.
Break that down for me. Start with breaking down that capital for us.
Sure. Just because you bank at an institution, that doesn't always mean that that is your best choice for capital. We have institutions that are called CDFIs, which are community development financial institutions, that are specialized, and they're funded a different way. They're funded through the Treasury. And so their flexibility with lending money, especially when it comes with micro lending, is very helpful to many minority people getting into business.
Okay, Kimberly, really quickly, break down micro lending for everyone.
Micro lending is typically loans that are less than $50,000, right?
Okay.
Because we often think, as an entrepreneur, we just know, and I say we because I myself, you know, formerly was an entrepreneur before I got into banking. I need money.
I need money. That's all you think about. Is I need more money.
I need money for what? Right? And that makes a difference. Do you need money for inventory? Do you need money to purchase a food truck?
Operations? Right. What are you doing?
Yes. Are you doing marketing? And so the importance of being able to come into an institution like Chase and speaking with us is that we can help you understand that although you have your accounts at a bank or at a credit union, there are other lenders out there that we call alternative lenders. CDFIs is an alternative lender, as well as their asset-based lenders who can lend just on a purchase order. They can lend just on a contract. And so a lot of that is just starting the conversation and doing a little bit of research yourself. Just Google alternative lending options.
I like that. And so something you said earlier in the first segment about, so many of us, I want to own a business. I want to own a business. Great, woohoo. But you used a word that I did not know of when I first started my business. How are you going to scale this business? How do I make this scalable? And so you mentioned about capital. You need capital to make this scalable. You can dream all day long. And I'm a dreamer, but at the end of the day, but talk about that, because you can, let's how do we teach people? Well, I guess you're going to teach us. They don't think this way, Kimberly. They don't think scalable. They think I have a great product that my family likes. Okay, and then all of a sudden more people start liking it and it's growing. Now what do I do?
Absolutely. Score.org is a great organization for entrepreneurs to get the coaching that they need. Many of us have a great idea, but we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
Which is fine. My colleague Robert Hines, who's a senior minority consultant at JPMorgan Chase, he loves to talk about social capital and building in your network of influence. And that is also advocates and individuals, allies who can help you to understand the pieces of your business that you don't, such as marketing. You have a background in marketing. Not everyone has a background in marketing, right? Not everyone has a background in accounting, but these are essential pieces of your business that you're going to have to be able to, if you don't have the information, get with someone who has that information so that they can help you understand the pieces that you're going to need to go from $0 to 100,000, from 100,000 to a million to wherever it is that you want to be in your business to scale it.
I love that. Social capital. That's not a word you hear. I like that. Okay, and we have to jump into this last pillar. Tell me what that's about.
Workforce development, right?
Okay.
You have to be able to have people that can earn incomes that would allow them to be able to afford a home, right? Just because you have a job, that doesn't mean you make enough money to be able to qualify for a mortgage.
Fair enough.
So our fourth pillar is actually workforce development, not only inside of the bank, because we realize that we can't go around telling people, hey, you need to look this way or do that. And we haven't even done that ourselves within the bank. And so we put a lot of emphasis on building and upskilling our own workforce. And then that translates out into the community, especially with our nonprofit partners who work in the area of making sure that individuals can get into skill sets and get into careers that would allow them to be able to be self-sufficient for themselves, to marry, to have a family, to do whatever you want to do or you dream about your life. We all know that you have to have the skills in order to be able to say, this is my value in the market. And for that value in the market, I get to earn XYZ income.
You said something so important earlier, that we have been, especially the Black community, in survival mode for so long that these things are like, I guess you don't even think about them, right? They're so far out of reach. So I have to say, wow, I'm so excited. So when do you guys officially open?
We were actually, the branch is actually open now, right? And we have some wonderful local art that we commissioned from some local artists that's in the branch. The art's not for sale. It stays in the branch. Stays in the branch. But we will actually be having our grand opening on October 27th.
Okay, so this month, so very soon.
This month, All
righty, this is going to be good timing. And then how often, Kimberly, will you guys be having these literacy classes or these financial health classes?
They will be ongoing, but we are working into a program that every Tuesday and Thursday at different times, and even on some weekends, because we know that people have varying work schedules. That we will be working in financial health training within the Lyons and Lockwood branch.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming in here. And thank you for passing the baton.
Thank you.
All these years of, all these decades of knowledge that you have.
Absolutely.
All righty, guys. I am going to be right back right after this break. See you in just a second.
Real estate can be a very complicated process. Finding one, how much can you afford, financing, closing costs, mortgage, putting it on the market, considering offers, inspection, negotiations, submitting offers, schools, down payment, title insurance, home warranty, taxes, review net sheets. These are the pieces of the puzzle of home ownership. I'm the person who helps put it together and the glue that keeps it together. Give me a call.
Most multivitamins have ignored the health and nutritional differences of African Americans. What we require is a multivitamin designed to best suit our needs.
After years of treating patients and fighting health disparities, Dr. Greg Hall, physician, researcher, and educator, created a formula of multivitamins specifically designed for African American men, women, and adults over 50. Sequence Vitamins, because our needs are different. Available at sequencevitamin.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy, because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
Experience the pinnacle of performance at Big Star Cadillac, formerly Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $449 a month, or the new 2022 XT6 Luxury Collection for $549 a month, all for 39 months lease with just $1 down. At Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Big Star Cadillac, Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Smarter when you shop at Big Star. Shop BigStarCadillac.com.
I'm Jonathan Cox with the Cox Radio Law Firm. For years, we have represented people who have been hurt or injured all over the country, but Houston is home. We fight for those who have been hurt or injured, however it may happen. So if you've been injured in a car accident, big truck accident, or even while at work, call our injury hotline at 1-800-HURT-NOW or log in to BigCityAccidents.com and let us fight for you.
BigCityAccidents.com. We fight for your right to get back your life.
Well, welcome back, everyone. I hope that you all learn a lot. And I know I say that often, but we're always learning something new here. You can never say you watched Good Morning with Misti B and did not learn something that you did not know. So listen, really quickly, Kimberly said something about there's more ways, there are alternatives to getting capital for your business besides baking. I have to tell you, I hosted a crowdfunding campaign, raised about $17,000, $18,000 to launch Brand Appetit in 2018. I shared that with you to say you can do the same. If the bank won't give it to you, guess what? Figure out a way. As always, you can chat with us on Instagram and on Facebook at American Star TV. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye-bye.